Hi, I'm Kevin Cooney, and I'm here at the Jasper County Courthouse in Newton to talk about the important role of jury service in Iowa. The right to a trial by a jury of your peers is the bedrock of Iowa's judicial system and is essential to our democracy. The Iowa Supreme Court suspended jury trials and most face-to-face court procedures in March of 2020, following the first reports of COVID-19. Face-to-face procedures resumed in July, and jury trials resumed in September. That means in communities all across Iowa, citizens are once again receiving jury summonses. Today, I'd like to explain the many safeguards that are in place for jurors to serve safely. Jury service is among your most important responsibilities as an Iowa citizen. So, like many things in our daily lives, the process of serving on a jury has changed due to COVID-19. From juror check-in, jury selection, the trial, and the final verdict, new safeguards are in place for your protection. In Iowa, county courts select jurors randomly from a list of licensed drivers, state identification card holders, and registered voters. If you are selected, you'll receive a postcard approximately 6 weeks before the trial. It directs you to a short online questionnaire to ensure you meet all the legal requirements to be a juror in Iowa. This is your jury summons. The questionnaire will include a special message regarding the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic with a phone number to call to request a deferral for up to a year. You can call that number if you do not feel you can serve as a potential juror because you are experiencing COVID-19 symptoms or are in a high-risk group. You may also request a deferral if you are caring for or living with someone who tested positive for COVID-19 or who is in a high-risk group, or any of the reasons listed on the screen. If you begin experiencing COVID-19 symptoms, you may call the number to request a deferral at any time before going to the juror check-in. Don't be surprised if you are asked to report for juror check-in at a location other than the courthouse. Many courthouses lack the space that's required for adequate social distancing for an entire jury pool. You may be asked to wait in your car or somewhere near the check-in location for a text message telling you that it is time to check in. This will allow for staggered arrival times and adequate physical distancing. Once you are in the check-in location, face coverings will be required throughout your jury service, and the floor and chairs will be clearly marked for social distancing. After you are checked in, the process of selecting a jury from the jury pool will begin. Potential jurors will learn about the case and be asked questions by the judge and attorneys. You and the judge and attorneys will all wear clear face shields and remain at least 6 feet apart. The face shields will be provided by the court and required for jurors and anyone who speaks throughout the rest of the trial. Once the jury is selected, the trial can begin. Things may appear quite different from the way trials are shown on TV. Depending upon your county, you may report to a courtroom in the courthouse or a larger location, such as a school auditorium or conference hall. You and several of your fellow jurors may be seated outside the jury box in seats around the room to allow for physical distancing. Don't worry, the room will have adequate sight lines and sufficient sound amplification so that you can hear and see the judge, attorneys, and witnesses during the trial. In some cases, a witness may testify by video streaming from a secure location outside the courtroom, and evidence may be projected onto a screen or placed in the middle of the courtroom for viewing, rather than passed from juror to juror for inspection. During breaks in the trial, you may be directed to a large conference room, or the jury may remain in the courtroom for recess while other court participants leave. You may also remain in the courtroom for jury deliberations after closing arguments are completed. The judge will explain the laws to consider in the case, and then you and your fellow jurors can privately discuss the case. If at any point during the trial, a juror, witness, attorney, or even the judge tests positive for COVID-19, the person testing positive will be excused immediately, sent home, and asked to seek medical care. The judge will then decide if any further action is necessary based on contacts the affected person had with other court attendees. Those actions could include contacting local public health officials relating to contact tracing, disinfection, and related measures. Thank you for completing your juror questionnaire and watching this video to prepare for your jury service. The courts have implemented these safeguards so you can participate in this important civic responsibility and serve safely.